Hey everybody, Scruffed here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. I'm finally feeling back to my normal self and we can get cracking on with FS and on Saxlingham. Yeah, not been too good recently, but yeah, I'm feeling much better. So thanks everybody for all the messages of get well soon, all that good stuff. Really appreciate that. But no, I'm feeling much better. And we can fly back straight into it. Now, I know this video comes out on Friday, and the one that came out on Wednesday this week, I actually recorded last week when I wasn't feeling too bad. It was like before the storm, let's say. So it's a bit of a weird one because it's like a week that I left releasing that video. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, before we get into it, we've got lots to do in this episode. It's December, so you know what that means. We are pretty much getting close to moving day. But before that, we've got to sell everything, make the money, buy everything, sell everything again when it comes to like the land, and then move everything over. So there's a lot to do, and you can see the money. I'm minus, and yeah, we're in dire need for some cash. It just about lasted me what I had, and with the bits that I've been spending, it was unfortunate. But yeah, I'm at minus 2,000, but we can soon rectify that problem. I've got a bit of sad news though. I don't know. Everyone's going to be like, no, not the cow. But unfortunately, the cow that had foot and mouth, you can see that it's died, and it says that it died due to foot and mouth. Now, it had 1 month of treatment, but after I slept into progress time, and it would have been 2 months since it's been having that 3-month treatment. Yeah, it died in the second month, unfortunately. So the cow that I moved over out of the main pasture into this to treat is unfortunately died. But that's part of farming. I like the fact that it's in the realistic livestock mod, to be honest, because it makes you it's another way to manage your animals, and I've always thought that that's something we've been missing in the game. In advance, apologies if my voice drops in and out. It's I'll be soon enough I'll be back to normal. Anyway, want to point out the insane MK4 105. And you can probably tell that I've done a few modifications to this. And that's because NM Modding, who sent this to ModHub, it failed, I think, originally, and he just used the opportunity to enhance it and add some extra options in. So you can see that I've now got an option to extend the capacity, so you can see there's like an extra layer to that top bit, which I've put on. I've also got some mudguard covers, so that's pretty cool. And I can change a few of and I've changed a few of the colours as well. I've gone for yellow rims with this yellow front section here. And I really like it now. I think anything that adds a bit more detail, especially on the muck spreaders, is a winner. And do you know what? It's crazy. We're probably going to see something just like this when the DLC releases very soon. What is it, 3 weeks away now? Something like that. So, yeah, like we're going to see some of these, also the trailers. And I think I'm hoping it's going to drop around the same time for PC players, and then obviously, you can send it straight after for console because of the fact that it's, a licensed manufacturer then. So, yeah, soon enough this is going to come. And I feel for console players so much recently. I think FS25 has probably been the worst generation for having UK maps on console. Not on PC, but on console. And I do feel for console players a lot. I want nothing more than a really good map to come out for console players and some of the good mods and stuff like that. I really do. I also think sometimes that if testing was a little bit easier, as in, feedback-wise from Giants to the modder, I think we'd get a bit of a faster flow. Sometimes it's a lot of guesswork, and I feel for the modders there. And that is not a slate at Giants. They do the best they can. I understand that. I've seen what they do behind the scenes and everything. Learned about that from speaking to modders and everything. So they do the best they can, but they can improve. And I think that's where feedback from the community can be perfect for these situations. If they can, we can suggest how Giants can maybe work better with modders and regarding feedback on what's passed, unveiled, and so on. It's going to be better for players overall, because I've always think I know it's a lot of work for Giants to do, but if they could provide some kind of list of it's failed on these reasons, we've tested everything, and if you fix these, it will pass. Because it's much better to do that than go, we found a fault, you need to fix it. And then they carry on testing, they find another fault, then he needs to fix it. Just give him all the fixes at the start, and that's the way it needs to be. And I know it probably makes the workload a little bit more, but I don't know. I just feel for console players, and finding a way to improve that can only be a good thing for Giants and for the community of players. Anyway, let's jump over to here. I've got a busy episode, as you're probably already aware. We're going to try and sell everything in this episode, and we're going to purchase what we need. The moving over and all that good stuff, I don't know if I'm going to do it in between episodes or at the start of the next one, but I'm hoping, at the very least, by the end of the next 2 episodes, we are away from this farm and fully starting our next endeavour on the bigger farm that we're going to be moving to. I've got a few ideas of what I want to place down and buy. I'm just going to get everything I need. We're going to get one big loan, all the fields that we need from that loan. We're going to try and aim to get a good amount of fields from it, but also the sheds that I want, because I want to expand on the cows and how I'm doing that. I mean, we'll go into more detail as and when we're placing the cow sheds down to tell you the idea, but in a nutshell, I want to expand the amount we're having, and I also want to feed him TMR, because I feel like if we feed him TMR, the price the animal should, hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't know this, I've got to test it, but I'm hoping it will go up. And I think it's better to get a feed mixer, do some TMR. It's more hands-on approach to animal care. And I know this series isn't that kind of a focus. We're focusing on arable work. I still am rearing cows, and I think it'd be better to feed them TMR. Now, the cows are all still outside. I know it's December, but I thought there's no point in leaving them, and bringing them in. We are moving and selling everything. So I thought to myself, let them do a bit of winter grazing, and they should be fine. Right, so let's first look at the price of everything, because that's got to be the most important thing. I do know I have checked this out, but if we just hide everything we can't sell, sort by the main price here, you can see we're in the green on pretty much a lot of this stuff, but we're going to be selling pretty much just straw and the canola. So, and previously, I've seen a few comments as well, people saying, what is OSR? I call it OSR. It's oilseed rape. In the UK, it's pretty much the same thing. It's like we grow oilseed rape, OSR. It's, not to confuse that with oilseed radish, which is in the game as a cover crop. It's OSR, which is oilseed rape, which is technically canola. But from now on, to simplify it for everyone that watches, I'm just going to call it what the game calls it, which is canola. I think it just makes it really easy, and then people are like, what is OSR? So yeah, we are growing canola and we're selling canola in this episode. You can see that I've actually got a really good price, 1321 at the animal dealer grain. So it's a bit of a trek, but we're going to be using auto drive to sell the grain. We have got a bigger trailer, so it should be good. We've also got the fast track, so not too bad. But I'm going to get into the big John Deere. We're going to sell some of this straw. In fact, all the straw that we've placed on the side, which hasn't fallen over, and I have been walking by it on purpose to try and get it to fall over, because yeah, I mean, it does wobble, don't get me wrong, like you can see it now. But luckily, the bales are static still. It's made me think maybe I should start manually loading. Not, depends on the size. If we've got massive arable fields, you have to be realistic. Like, I don't mind picking up with that, placing down here, but like, I don't like this, I'll be honest. I really do not like these object storage points. Like, you can't even enter them to see your bales. It is convenient, I get it, but I just don't like them. And I'm thinking of selling this shed that's on that farm, putting a proper bale shed in, and even if we just use that trailer and stack them that way, I like it. I just don't want them to fall over, and that's the bit that I've been trying to avoid. And you can see that I'm walking past it to test it. They are all rocking about, and I don't know if it's because I've got this here protecting this and the wall that side. I feel like if we stack them a certain way, they might still stay upright. Fingers crossed. So we'll have a look at that, but I really would like to go back to the way I used to play in FS22 days and FS19 days. It's just, I don't know, it's a difficult one. It really is. Anyway, let's get this filled up with some of this canola. We've got plenty to sell. We've also got to take some of the cows as well. With it being December, we've got to buy some, and it's a tricky one. Because of the fact I want to buy more, I'm going to have to buy 24 in prep for the fact that we want to put 24 in. I think I'm just going to double it. I could go to 25 because it makes sense, but I'm just going to go to 24 because it's because I can hold 12 in the trailer. It makes sense for me to just make 2 trips instead of 3 for one cow. Right, I want to just go in the direction that the guy on auto drive is going to yeah, basically the same route. So we're going to go through this way, and then we're going to set it up. I do want to confirm that that is the right sell point as well. We don't want it to change. So let's go to the original sale prices, which is this one. So canola is... where's the best one? We've got 1321 at the farmer market and animal... and the animal dealer grain. So if it's the farmer's market, it might be a better idea because it's the same price. It might be a better idea to go to that because I'm sure that's our normal one. Yes, it is. Farmer's market. I think we do that. I think we do that. It makes a lot more sense to do that. So we want to go pick up and deliver, which is this one. And we're going to go from starter farm. Where are you? Medium grain, silo, unload. And we're going to be going to sell points. Farmers market, grains, sell. And we're going to be selling canola. There we go. Right, so off you go. And let it do its thing. I probably should take off. Ooh, is he going to be able to turn? I hope so. Shouldn't have anything in the way anyway. Right, for starters, I want to turn off that super speed that I had on. Because it can be quite annoying. There we go. Turn that off. And I also want to get rid of that marker now. So let's also go back to this one and just untag. And there we go. Happy days. Right, so we can either go and sell... we can either go and sell the cows, or we can take the straw. I think we'll start with the cows. Why not? We may as well. We'll take the big John Deere. I mean, we could... I'm just trying to think. We could use... that goes 25. This goes 34. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll start with this. Where did I put the animal trailer? Is it up the other side? I think it might be. I know I had it here and then moved it out the way somewhere. I will find it. I will definitely find it. Now, it is a bit grim, isn't it? Like, for December. I know it's 10 AM in December, a bit cloudy, and we got a bit of snow coming, but I feel like the lighting recently, I don't know, I'm just not seeing the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to go to my additional game settings, and I'm going to see if I can change to my custom lighting that I put on Bevington Farm. Now, I've got a few, as you can see. So let's try that one. Now, the lighting has definitely changed, but it has got more darker. So maybe that wasn't the best idea. I mean, it does look nice. I don't think it's better. So that isn't going to work, is it? Let's change that back. There we go. There we go. At least that's better. That's much better. We won't bother about putting any straw in. With everything changing so much, it makes sense to just focus on getting these cows sold. And I will go the other route, so we'll shut this gate behind us next time. Now, this has definitely got the right group in. Definitely. 24 we're going to have to bring as well. I am going to keep two sheds up here. Now, I did mention in the last episode I want to try and test something. So even though I'm going to sell everything, I'm going to have to keep this land here for just a little bit of time whilst I test out the TMR to kind of like just silage, just to see. I'm going to make a copy using the XML, identical copy of the cow that I place in it into another shed, so we can keep a track on it, and it should just get the exact same. Just feed's going to be the only thing that's different, so that's pretty much it. So I'll make sure I set that up properly because I want to know for certain. Like if I feed it silage, and then or TMR, or even like grass, for example, would it be any different? So I could put a copy in each one of them 3 sheds before I sell them, and we can do a bit of a test just to clarify for everyone watching that's interested in knowing as well. Right. Wait a minute, that's our first load sold. So, wow. 71,000 and 5.5 grand. What is our environmental score? There has been a big update to the game. And also, it looks like a really good update to precision farming. It sorted out the tram lines for the nitrogen as well. So we should be seeing maybe basically no nitrogen now applying to the tram lines. So that should be interesting to keep an eye on. I do need to move that tractor, don't I? Just thought about that because he might be in the way there. So let's just reverse this. There we go. Spot on. And he can head back and keep filling up and keep selling. Right, anyway, let's focus on what we're doing, which is selling these. So I think now we're looking at year to July, aren't we? So anything from July, year 2, so that's 16 months. Yeah, that's about right, because they're about 6 months away. So year 2, July, anything like that we're selling. Should be 12, fingers crossed. That one's not bad, is it? 4,100, we've got a 5,000 there. So some of these are looking really good at the moment. I mean, we could even try out, the breeding, the properly breeding of it all. So, yeah. I wonder why these aren't named. These ones that I've added to. It's a strange one. How many have we got now? No. We want to move selected. So there's 9. So we've moved 9 over. And they're all December, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So this and this, I get it now. These are the 2 that I bought, and the one that died, unfortunately, was going to be one of the ones we sold. So we should be moving 11 this time round, which is pretty much perfect in where we're at. So, yeah, it is what it is. There's one space missing there, but should be all right. Now, we've got to bring back 24. So it's going to be 2 trips of me doing this. I will keep cutting in when we're picking the animals so I can give you a good idea. We've got to avoid Herefords because we're going to be moving away from that breed. So it allows me to change the models as well, which I want to try out. So anything but Hereford and we should be good. I mean, it'd be better to get males. I found that the bulls, they just make a lot more money. They beef up quicker, don't they? So, yeah. I mean, if we can get bulls, beef stock, like a beef breed that's a male, that's where the money is. And we will be technically a little bit closer going forward to selling all these animals. So, yeah. When we move farm, which I'm actually really looking forward to doing because I've been on the starting farm now for ages, and I've seen a few people saying that a lot of creators are at the starting farm, and it'd be nice to see you not do the same, and I fully agree with that. I think that's a really good and valid point. So I'm going to try my best to move over in the next couple of episodes, and we can start and yeah, we can start. The doorbell's just gone, so I'm gonna pull over here and go and answer the door in real life. Right, I'm back. Bloody hell. I'm going to have to tell you on this video because you'll find it funny. So, Amazon's just come, dropped off a few parcels. We're all used to that. It's like normal in every household nowadays. And there's a cat. There's a cat that lives across the road, a neighbour's house. She's a really nice old lady, and she's got a cat. And the cat just wanders around. It's actually called Fat Cat. That's the name of the cat. It's called Fat Cat. And it runs in my house as I'm taking these parcels from the front door. And then, yeah, it goes and hides because it basically wants food. It basically blackmails you. It runs in the house and says, I'll leave when you've fed me. So I had to find some food dead quick. Whilst I'm recording a video upstairs, like, to go find some food. And all I found was a cheese slice. So I've just fed this bloody cat a cheese slice and it blackmailed me, then buggered off, and now I'm back on the game and realised that I blocked the auto drive from selling the grain anyway. So that's like, 15 minutes of my life that's just gone being blackmailed by a cat. As you do. Right, now back to normality. I promise you, back to normality. Let's sell them. Let's sell them all. We'll get them sold. Hopefully we'll get I like to aim around 45, 40,000. I think then we've done pretty well, but we are one cow shy. So if we still hit 40, I'm happy, which we're not. That's actually pretty low in all fairness, because even with one cow down, it shows that some of the genetics of the ones we were buying there mustn't have been very good. I mean, look at this one here. Let's just go back first. This one. It's still over its target weight, but these Herefords, they don't fetch as much, do they? So I'm pretty glad we're moving away from the Herefords, because you can see they're quite low in comparison to the Anguses in the Limousin breed. So, yeah, we need to definitely move away from Herefords. But £36,000 for just feeding them silage and grass is not bad going. I'll take that all day long. But let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. We're going to be looking at beef stock. Now, I know someone's asked me about the reset button down here, and I actually thought it was part of an update that Arrow put into the Realistic Livestock mod, but it's not. It's actually a mod that I got sent. It's literally just a mod that adds custom little edits to the Realistic Livestock mod, and it was made by a modder. And he said, try this out, you'll find it really useful for your series. So I don't think it's going to get released. It's literally just a few tweaks here and there, but I think I've basically shown this Arrow because he got asked the question as well. So fingers crossed, maybe Arrow might do that. It might not. It doesn't matter too much. Now that we can see the 200 animals, it's not as important. We can just jump in and out. But it is a nice feature to have reset animals. I guess it's realistic not to have that feature though, but it is quite useful at the same time. Anyway, we're looking for 0 to 2 months, aren't we? So that one straight away. And that one. And not that one. So we got 2 so far. Oh, that's not bad for 3 months, but 2 months is my cutoff, and I'm being strict on that. So we're not going to go there as well. And we've got none on that section. Let's see what we got for the Limousin bull. Looks like we got 1. No, we got none as well. So we're going to reset the animals here because we do not want Herefords at all. Nothing on the Limousin bull. We got 1 there. I'll take that. I'll take that as well. With us getting 24, we shouldn't be too picky, should we? And there's some more there. And I don't mind that one as well. That's not too bad. So let's just buy them selected ones. We've got 7. We are still a way off. And yeah, we're still quite a bit off, aren't we? I mean, that's insane how good that is. I'm going to have to buy that. I know I said 3 months is like where a cut-off is, but for that, it's inevitable. We've got to buy that. So we've got 10. Right, so currently we've got 10, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset and I'm going to just try this out because this is what I should be doing, really. We should be doing this. And now it shows me everything that's 3 months. Wait a minute. That can't be right, can it? There wasn't many options there, was there? That one is a really good one, though. So that's 11. And then we got some Limousins here. This one, that'll be 12. And we don't want anything else. So I'll take them ones. That should be fine. So we go. We've got 12 in here, and they're actually pretty good. We've got a good selection here. It's a couple of Angus, mainly bulls on the Angus side, which I'm quite happy with. Did we buy... Why have I got a 9-month and an 11-month here? Did I buy them too? That is strange. Let me just check what's going on there. I did. Right, well, that's messed up. Did I buy... I must have bought these 2. I must have bought 2. I don't know how I've done that. That is very strange. Oh, well. I wonder if it's like the 2 that I bought through the filtering system. It shouldn't be, but maybe it is. Right, so now we should be sorted. I've got them. You can see that I've actually got a good chunk of Angus bulls here in this first 12, so I'm very happy with that. But let's get back. We're going to have to come back again for another 12. So I'll do a bit of a jump cut now, drop these off, and I might put them in the shed for now, just so I know they're separate, because I'm going to have to rename them again. But I'll make sure I do that after. Let's just get them stored up somewhere separately. All 24 of these cows that we're buying. And yeah, we can worry about renaming them after. Look at them all stumbling about the place. But that is a lot of cows. 24 in there. 24 cows. Let's have a quick look just so I can show you. I have tried to focus mainly on having bulls, but yeah, I need to rename them still. I got a good chunk of Angus there, some really good genetics and everything else. There's some that are low, but there's some that are like really good. But I can see that I've got quite a few more bulls on the Angus side and about an even 50-50 split on the Limousin, but there's 24 in there. I will need to rename them, like I said, but we'll get them sorted out when we got the new cow sheds down. Now, I have started moving some of the bits over because, yeah, we need to basically take it all, don't we, to the new farm. So I've just plonked them in the field closest at the moment, and I'm using the little John Deere to manoeuvre everything about the place, doing a bit of farm shunting. Yeah, I mean, thinking about this section here, I am going to use this shed probably. In fact, I might just use them two sheds to test out, like between TMR and so on. Eventually, I will sell everything. The one thing I'm going to have to hold on to is the silage in the bunker, because it's going to be a nightmare to shift this silage. So I think it might just be a good idea to just keep the bunker here, keep this section of land before we sell it. But we can sell the grass fields and so on. I was going to do some more bales, but decided against it. Decided to just focus on moving the farm and trying out some different grass fields as well, and doing it a bit different, because I'm hoping to have the capabilities to do more muck and more slurry, because we're going to have 3 proper cow sheds with more cows in that are going to have, you know, the option to store properly some slurry. So yeah, we can try out that bunning spreader a bit more, and we can also try out maybe a muck spreader. Yeah, maybe a tanker or something at some point. But right now I've got 2 AI workers on the go. I've got this guy down here dropping off first load of bales. You can see the following him behind. And the other one is just pulling up to this section, which he should stop, because that should be everything. So what we can do is just stop this, because I'm pretty certain that that is all the canola. Now we've got nothing in this silo now. So what I'm going to do, just quickly just drive this over here. You can see where I'm just storing everything in this field at the moment, because I can just drive it across that field there, because the farm's going to be up there, so it doesn't really matter too much. And yeah, we can just leave that there for a second. We're going to have to move everything, but it's getting these bales sold first. Now I have got quite a few straw bales in the object storage point, but I want to keep them, as well as the hay bales and the 6 silage. I feel like that's a good starting point. We've got plenty of straw, plenty of hay, and, you know, got some silage across the road over there, so not too much of an issue. I think now, with the money we've got, 316,000, I think we start paying off some of the stuff and thinking about how much we're going to need. The most important thing to do first is to pay off this loan. So let's go to our current loans, special repayment 160881. There we go. So now we've got no loans, which is always nice to see. Finance, though, that's the big one. This one here, settlement cost 137. I know that we've had that for a long time. Whilst it would be nice to pay off the fast track because of the monthly repayment, we've had that pretty much since the start of the series. It is time to settle this. Let's get it done. So now we outright own the baler, which is nice to know, because it was a really expensive baler when I first bought it. It's a top of the range class square baler, just a fast track, which we're using quite a lot of. We have got, a lot of monthly repayments on this, but we can settle that. We can get it sorted at some point. But the balance doesn't look very good now, does it? It's 18,000. But you got to think, we've just paid off a big loan and one of our long-standing finance agreements. And the next thing's going to be an even bigger loan. It's going to have to be. Definitely is going to have to be. But I'm hoping to ease the blow on this, because if you think about it, at some point, we don't want to do that. We want to go here. I want to go to our farmland. Let's go to that. So if you think about it, we're going to keep field 8. This section here is 155,000, and this section here is 157,000. So we've already covered the farm by the farm we sell. Now we have got some grass fields that we want to sell. May as well do that now just to bring in the cash. There we go. And we'll also sell this one. That's going to be 50,000. So there we go. We're up to 100,000. Now this section here, 76,000. We're going to also sell that eventually, but not quite yet. But I do want to sell field 19. I know it's really close to my farm, but I think getting these 3 fields here is more important than keeping that, because I think like that section there is a good option. I don't mind like this section being owned by, you know, who we sell it to. Let's just say it like that. Who we sell this farm to, they can still own 7 and 19. But I really just want to try new fields and new layout. So I'm going to sell this one for 89,000. Looks like we're selling all our assets. I'm also going to sell field 3 as well, 128,000. Not bad at all. And we're also going to sell this for 156,000. So now what we've got is the farm that we can buy. We've also got this field through 300,000, this one 298, and this one for 251. So you can see that they are expensive fields. But I want to buy the farm. Yeah, I definitely want to buy the farm first. So let's just buy this out right now. There we go. Then we can place down some of our sheds and what money we need out of the next loan, which I'm thinking around like potentially like 500,000. I want it to be a hefty loan, and I want it to buy the fields because we just got rid of, you know, quite a few fields. I know we still got 150,000 here and that, so we still got quite a bit to come in. But I want to try and buy these 3 fields and a few grass fields. And you got to think, I'm going to need some for arable work, and we probably want something for the pasture, don't we, to put the cows out. So yeah, we got to look at that. But let's first just go and sort out the new sheds and all that good stuff, because we've got to have a place for the cows. It's a certainty. Now, we've got a nice silo, good storage. We've got another object storage, which, again, I might look at changing into a normal shed so we can just place them in ourselves. But for now, I think I'll keep it until I decide fully what to do. But I know I want to put this down. It's conveniently open to it. I feel like this isn't a bad option. It's 60,000. We're going to need 3 of these. But what I like about this is it holds 25, which is pretty much perfect for us. It's nicely... I like the design of it. I think it's a good little shed. And it can hold our cows in. And we've got a place to drive through and feed. It's just 25 cows in that section there. Looks a bit small. That's the only thing I was thinking. But we have got a slurry point. And we've got a milk tank. But we're not going to be doing any milking. But I just think... like 25 cows in that section there. Is that a bit small for 25 cows? I don't know. I think it might be all right. We're only ever going to put 24 in, but it does look a bit... yeah. I don't know. I'm undecided on that one, I'll be honest. But we're gonna place it down. Now, I think what I'll do is, because I've got to think of this now. Say I have a bale shed there. I can remove this tree out easily. But let's say I've got a bale shed there. And we're going to need to put a bunker down. I'm just trying to think the best place to put it, thinking about our feed mixes. I think the silage bunker would be best over here. So what might be a good idea is if I put one about there. There we go. That's one down. And we'll have to hope that everything's level. It looks pretty level so far. If we put another one over here like that, it means we can still get in if we did want to get to the milk. But I like the fact that I can carry on driving. Can't I? I can basically open both these gates, carry on driving through with the feed mixer. And same applies over here. And would it be better to go there? I actually think it'd be better over here. Now, these are 3 decent sized sheds, aren't they? So, not bad at all. Let's give it a bit more space there on that muck, on that slurry trigger. There we go. Just like that. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. We'll obviously do a bit of terraforming eventually, and some painting textures and all that good stuff. I might chop that tree. There's a bit of a bush there as well that I want to get rid of so it's not clipping through. But I like it because it means that if I get in the feed mixer, let's just go over to it and we'll have a look at it. Now, let's say I get to, like, here with the feed mixer. I mean, there's loads of gates as well, so you can open up from any angle anyway. It doesn't really matter too much. Where do they shut from? What's going on? There we go. Well, let's open this up. So you can drive straight through. Like that. And I'm hoping we left everything enough space, but I just like the fact I can keep driving through. And if I do want to get to my triggers, you know, easily done. But it's all one pass, isn't it, then? With a decent sized feed mixer. Oh, I thought they were going to shut perfectly then. I was like, yes. I like that. I think that's pretty good. You know, 3 decent sized sheds, 24 in each one. I've now got story points. We can, you know, lay this out properly, make it look pretty good. Obviously, it's got grass down. We're going to remove that so it looks like a proper farmyard. But we're expanding out. It's a lot more space here. We can put another bunker in. But we've got 3 decent-sized cow sheds to put our cows in. And, yeah, we just need some outdoor pastures to travel with them to. But I'm very happy. I'm very happy with it. Let's carry on getting these bales sold, though. I think that's the most important part. Well, bloody hell, plenty of storage space in there. Right, I'm progressing nicely through this. It is going to take a few trips. I can take 24 at a time. This is the 3rd trip. I actually used auto drive, but he drove straight through it and brought the bales back. So then I decided, right, I'll do this myself. So yeah, this is the 3rd trip. I've only sold 2 loads. I'm actually really happy, though, the fact that I'm sitting at 175,000. I've already bought my farm and the 3 sheds. I'm technically debt-free loan-wise, and I've paid off a big, finance deal that I had, so on the hire purchase mod. I've got 1 left to do, and I'm thinking potentially we could go into that like debt-free when it comes to like hire purchase. We could pay off that other one, settle it up, and then just buy a loan to buy the fields. I do want, ideally, like looking at the map, I want these 3 fields. I want 19, 17, and 9 with field 8. I think if I had them 4 fields around, that'd be a big increase on what I'm farming. It's a lot of arable work to tackle, but I think it'd be pretty good. Also, the fields are really nice shaped fields around the farm. Easy access, you know, there's not too much in regards to travelling. In comparison to like getting to field 2 and 3, these are like right on the doorstep of the farm. So I think that might be the best way to go. Get the loan sorted that covers all the fields. And then from all the arable work we do, we can start worrying about paying off the loan. And if we do it where the monthly repayments aren't crippling, because, you know, the plan is to do the big lump sum repayments over time. Yeah, I mean, we could pay it off within probably like 2 years if we did really well, or 3 years definitely, so 3 harvests. I think we'd more likely 2 because of the size fields that we've gone up to. I think that has to be the way to go. Now, there's a lot to sort out here. There is a load to sort out. Definitely. But we're making good cash. You can see I'm already at 200,000. One of them fields is 250,000. But if you add on top of it the 150 from the farm, you know, that's, what, 350? And then you add on the 70 odd from the other farmland area. We are well into buying 2 of them. So yeah, I think it's a no-brainer to just take out a loan that pays off the remaining amount that we need, but leaves us with some good cash. And we can also worry about paying. Yeah, we can also worry about paying, you know, the finance agreement off. So we're completely, really debt-free, apart from the one big loan that we're going to need to invest in getting this farm going. There's a lot of stuff to sort out. I've got to obviously take these bales. I've got to move the bales from the storage, one object storage, to the next. I've got to move all my equipment over. I've got to move the cows over. I've got to rename the cows. I've got to pretty much set up the farm. I definitely got to do that. I've also got to set up the tests that I want to do in that area so we can sell it. Because, I mean, if we don't do it, we can't sell that land because it's got, you know, We got one of the well, we'll have 2 sheds on there, and it won't allow us to sell the land, and we could really do with that money. So I don't know. It might be a good idea to maybe test it in a pasture, 2 pastures next to each other, like over in the grassfield areas, because we are going to have to put some pastures down. I probably want to put down 2. I think we can fit 50 in one, and then 25 in another. And then maybe the 25 that are on their own are the ones that are going to be sold next, for example. I think that might be the best bet. And then we also need some grass fields to actually work in to bring in the feed. It might be an idea to start doing a bit of maize, a bit of chaff. You know, I'd love if Maize Plus was out, because we could actually do maize silage and maybe even whole crop silage and things like that. I think that'd probably be the best way to go, with us focusing on arable work. You know, if we can just get a chopper, do maize silage or whole crop silage, that would be perfect. But we could still do chaff and make silage that way, and it's pretty much the same thing. It's just not as in depth as it. But hopefully we'll see Maize Plus at some point soon. I know the guys are working on it. I don't know if they're taking a break. I don't know how it's working. It's hard to follow sometimes, the farming agency. There's so many people in it. It's like a busy group. So loads of bees buzzing about, like to know what's exactly going on. But I will try and get an update on Maize Plus, because I think it's a fan favourite, and a lot of people, want to see that, don't they? But good things take time and all that good stuff. Just like Whitcomb, which is looking insane, honestly. Can't wait to play that map. But I think I'll stop there. I'll sort a lot of stuff out in between this episode and the next one. In fact, I think it might be a good idea to move everything over, including the cows, get them renamed, all the bales and everything. So this is just an empty farm ready to sell at the start of the next episode. And then you can watch me figuring out how we're going to sort the fields out and go from there. I think that might be the best bet. But we are well into it. I think money-wise, you can't be much happier than that. 200,000 in the bank account. We've paid off the loan. We've paid off one of the high purchases. We've got 2 good-sized fields, and we still got to sell the farm and this section here. And all we really need to do is buy these 3 fields, and I'd say that one, because I can use that as an actual feed, a grass field for feed, so maybe a hay field. This one will be a good pasture because of the shape of it, and I'd say another field that's got easy access to this main road, because I don't want to really go too far for a pasture that I'm taking cows. Whereas if I drive straight down this track and drop my cows into here, that's not bad at all. But where are the other grass field entrances? That is the question. Because if we had a gate on these sides bringing us to these other fields, then that wouldn't be too bad. Because, this is, again, another... I wouldn't like to mow this just because of the shape of it. It'd be a bit strange to mow. But it is a good-sized field, and it'd be great, again, for another pasture. So that could be an option. Like 24, 28. Can we remove these? I don't think we can. No, we can't. So if we have a look up, we can find where these entrances are. You've got this one down here, but it does feed an entrance over here to this. And this is a big field. Definitely a big field. So we could make this a pasture. This one and this one. These are 2 big pastures. We've got one there to make feed from, which isn't a bad sized field at all. And that leads up to that way. So we've got 1, 2. We can't get to this field unless we go down here. And then this one is also an entrance there. And to get to this field, it looks like the only entrance is there. So I think looking at the grass fields, it's going to have to be grass pasture, grass pasture. This one can have the 50 cows in because it's bigger. And we'll have to fence off, won't we? We'll definitely have to fence off. I mean, that's a nice grass field. Nice size one. But I think, yeah, grass fields going into this one, another grass pasture. So pasture for 50. We'll fence it off this section and put a gate in or something for the bridge. And I'm thinking maybe this one is another feed field, and hope that field and this one will be enough to make winter stock when it comes to feed. Fingers crossed. I'm looking at these 3 fields as well, That one's pretty much just in a good state. This one's also in a good state. The only one that looks pretty poor is this. We've got withered maize in here, so that's going to be a nightmare to sort out, but that's what we've been dealt with, so we'll have to sort it out. That'll be a problem for, yeah, another day. But I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See you, everybody.